registered dietitian or a CNS working for a telehealth company, another private practice, or a clinic who has credentialed you under their practice, and now you're questioning, which I absolutely love, whether or not you should do this all on your own and what that entails. If that sounds like you, which is thousands of you at this point, then you definitely want to hang out for the entirety of this call, because today I'm going to be talking about the top 3 things you guys all need to know before starting your own insurance-based practice while working for someone else. Okay. So, hey, dietitians, it's your girl, Amy P., the Reimbursement Dietitian, your resident insurance whisperer, credentialing queen. And today, my friends, we are spilling some serious tea about what happens when you are working for somebody else's practice, but planning to start your own insurance practice on the side, right? I thought I did a video on this that was really good. I searched and didn't. So here we are. So spoiler alert, if you're working for somebody else, unfortunately, you cannot just copy and paste your boss's credentialing. It doesn't work that way, but today we're going to break it down. I'm going to give you the 411. So let's get to it. The most common question, concern, scenario I see dietitians struggling with in this particular scenario, you working for somebody else who did your credentialing for them, is now you need to get credentialed from scratch on your own. I had a dietitian arguing with me, shockingly, right? You guys are shocked about that, via email, that she did not need to credential on her own because the company she was working for did the credentialing for her. Listen, insurance companies do not care in any shape or form that you have already been credentialed under somebody else's practice. If you are starting your own gig, side hustle, full hustle, all of the hustles, you need to credential yourself all over again. But this time, the way that it works is it's going to be under your EIN and your practice. Anytime we introduce a new EIN to the insurance companies, they see us as a new business. Just to clarify, even though you were credentialed under that company, those credentialing and contracting status do not in any shape or form transfer over to your particular practice. Essentially, I know nobody wants to hear this, but you are starting from scratch. I want you to think about it like dating. Just because you were in a relationship before does not mean that your new partner automatically knows what your favorite pizza toppings are, or automatically knows what your sushi order is, right? You've got to reintroduce yourself, and insurance works the exact same way. So we need to set up your practice with the insurance companies under your new IN with your physical address. I know nobody wants to hear this, and do all of the things. So just because, numero uno, you are credentialed through that particular company means now you have to start from scratch and do it on your own. What they did tied you to their business. And now we'll talk about it in a hot second. It's not going to impact their business, but you need to start it from scratch. I do want to do a little caveat, because you guys know I talk to thousands of dietitians per year. If you started working for a company who accept insurance and you started seeing patients within 6 weeks, there's 100% chance that they never even credentialed you in the first place. It takes about 3 months in almost every single state for most insurance companies. So there's a good possibility that while they told you you were credentialed, there is no way humanly possible you could have been credentialed, because the credentialing process is the same whether you are a big telehealth company or you are a little teeny tiny private practice doing your own thing. So number one, you've got to credential from scratch under your own EIN. Number two, you need to get access to your CAQH application. Your CAQH application is like a database. It's like your resume. It's where all of your information goes. So the insurance companies only need to look at it once, or only need to access it once. So in there, it's, gosh, I want to say there's probably like 15 sections. And this is kind of where alphabet soup comes in. you are going to need to access your CAQH because that's where all the credentialing magic happens. You're going to need to add in your practice location, so your physical location for your practice, your NPI Type 2 for your business, and the name of your business, and then essentially the EIN for your particular practice. It doesn't really matter who's primary in terms of the practice locations, but we need to add you in. And if you do not have access, CAQH is actually tied to your Social Security. So all you need to do is call CAQH or message them. You're going to provide your name, your legal name, and your Social Security, and they should be able to do a password reset and send you all the information. With that being said, it's very challenging to do this if you are not telling the company that did the credentialing for you. Essentially, your CAQH you own, but if somebody is maintaining it currently, right, and you go and you change the password, then when they go to update it, they're going to know. So I'm not telling you what to do in terms of your employee contractor status. And especially if you're a contractor, you should have no issues telling them that. But if you're working for an employer and there's a non-solicitation in there, or anything in terms of legalities, this may flag an issue. And you can only have one CAQH. You cannot then go and create another one because unless you have multiple social securities, which I hope you don't, because that would be fucking weird. You need to essentially be using the same one. So there's no shortcuts. There's no cheating off of anybody else's homework. If you want to panel with the insurance companies, you have to take your business seriously. So you got to show up with the right identifiers, things like your type 2 for your business, the legal name of your business, malpractice insurance for you, and then your EIN all in the right spot. So super important that we do that. And just to be crystal clear, you basically own access to your free CAQH. It is tied to your Social Security, and at any point you can access it. And lastly, number 3, this is probably the most common question that I get. You won't mess up your current credentialing or billing. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what if I start my own practice? Won't that blow up the current billing status with my practice that I'm working for? Girl, relax, deep breath. You're fine. You can be credentialed under as many entities at the same time as you want. Remember, like your NPI Type 1, which they're using as the rendering provider, can be used like your Social Security a gazillion times by anyone with everything. So starting your own credentialing process does not erase, break, discontinue your current status with that insurance company. With that particular company that you're working for. That company can still bill for you. They can get reimbursed, and continue to do all the things either simultaneously while you are doing your own thing, or even long after you've left that practice and made this a full-time hustle. So you're not going to get kicked off of Blue Cross Blue Shield because you're an entrepreneur or you're ambitious. You're just leveling up right now, and you're leveling up. That skill set is not going to impact your current employer. So I just want to circle back and just recap. Number 1, in spite of what dietitians want to tell me and argue with me, I am the OG. I know this to be a fact. You need to credential from scratch in your practice under your EIN. Number 1, your credentialing status does not follow you. Number 2, you do need access to your CAQH. So if somebody else is managing it, you need to request access to it. If they will not give you access to it, then you need to call CAQH or communicate with them in the portal and get access, just supplying your Social Security. Remember, just to be crystal clear, you own your CAQH. Just because somebody else is using it, say you work in my practice, we're using your CAQH, but it's yours. Even if we created it for you and did it for you, it's still yours. So we need to get access to that so we can add in all your information. And number 3, as anxiety-ridden dietitians who like to be rule followers, you are not going to get in trouble because you are not going to do anything to your credentialing status while doing your own. Just credentialing in your own practice Don't need to panic. It's not going to jeopardize the people that you're working for right now. So it's totally doable. Yes, there is paperwork and yes, it's annoying, but think about it like buying anything from IKEA. You will survive, right? Credentialing and contracting and starting your own business only feels hard because you've never done it before. So don't let the fear of unknown or uncertainty keep you from doing what you were meant to do, which is to get and instill financial freedom in your life. If you guys need help with this, you guys know I am the girl, Amy P, reimbursement dietitian. I have courses, cheat sheets, master classes, one-on-ones. I help dietitians just like you. I would say historically 60% of all of the dietitians in my current coaching program are working for somebody else while they are building their full-time hustle. So it is not a shock or surprising. This is not my first rodeo. If I need to help you untangle, I can help you untangle, but I do not foresee this being an issue. So if you're working for somebody else and you are not happy, words of wisdom, go for this shit. You've got this. Resources like mine can help you navigate the entire process, but what is more important, it's not going to screw up anything. So stop panicking and freaking out. You've only got one life on this planet, and if your goal is to have your own private practice, now is the time. Let's do this shit. Let me know what help you need, but it is doable. It's not going to mess anything up, and it's time to make the money that you deserve.